Bitcoin was born, but nobody knows who its parent is. The world's most famous digital baby arrived with no birth certificate, no proud parent posting selfies, and not even an embarrassing baby photo in the archives. Just a name, Satoshi Nakamoto. Was it a lone genius hiding in the shadows? A secret group of cryptographers planning the future of money? Or maybe it was simply a monkey who looked at the price of bananas one day and said, "Nope, we need a new system." Think about it. If you created Bitcoin, wouldn't you brag about it every chance you got? You'd be at a birthday party like, "Yeah, nice cake. Also, I invented Bitcoin." Instant legend. But whoever Satoshi was, they chose silence, and that silence turned into the biggest financial mystery of our time. And no, it wasn't me, though I'd happily take the royalties. In 2008, out of the blue, a mysterious figure named Satoshi Nakamoto appeared on the internet and dropped a 9-page PDF. Not a meme, not a cat video, a technical paper. Inside, it explained a brand new idea for digital money. No banks, no middlemen, just code, math, and a wild amount of ambition. The paper was short, but the impact was huge. People on forums thought it was either genius or total nonsense. Some said, "This will change finance forever." Others said, "Cool idea, nerd." Now back to World of Warcraft. And just when things were heating up, Satoshi didn't just write the paper, they built the system. The first Bitcoin network went live. And then, just like a magician dropping smoke bombs, Satoshi disappeared from the spotlight, leaving only questions and a trail of code. Once Satoshi disappeared, the internet did what it always does best, went full detective mode. Who is behind the mask? Some say it had to be one brilliant coder, a digital ninja who pulled this off alone. Others argue it must have been a secret group of cryptographers meeting in basements, plotting the future of money like it was a spy movie. And then there are the truly creative theories that Satoshi was actually an alien visiting Earth, saw our economy running on version 1.0 and thought, time to patch the system. People have even suggested Satoshi might be artificial intelligence or a time traveler from the future, sending us Bitcoin as a survival tool. The truth, nobody knows, which makes the mystery even juicier because every new theory is weirder than the last. So what do we actually know about Satoshi? Not much, but enough to keep internet detectives busy for over a decade. First clue, Satoshi mined the very first Bitcoins, the so-called Genesis block. That means whoever they were, they didn't just write about Bitcoin, they booted up a computer and made it real. Second clue, emails and forum posts. Satoshi always wrote politely, almost like a professor explaining homework. No rants, no emojis, no rage quits, just calm explanations. Third clue, their spelling. Instead of color, Satoshi wrote color. Instead of favor, it was favor. Yup, classic British spelling. Suddenly, half the internet shouted, "Aha, he's from the UK." Others said, or maybe just a troll pretending. Either way, the trail is thin. All we have are code, polite notes, and a very British dictionary. Satoshi's white paper wasn't just another boring tech document lost in the corners of the internet. It was only 9 pages long, shorter than most college essays. But inside was a blueprint that could flip the entire financial system upside down. The paper explained how money could move without banks, without permission, and without borders slowing it down. No lines at the bank, no middle managers charging fees, no Karen from accounting asking for receipts, just peer-to-peer transactions. Monkey to monkey, human to human, directly. The beauty of it, anyone could download the PDF for free. Imagine stumbling across it in 2008, scrolling through it on your old computer and thinking, this seems interesting, before going back to playing Minesweeper. That tiny PDF was the spark that lit an entire revolution. 9 pages that birthed the world's first decentralized currency. And then, just as Bitcoin was starting to get noticed, Satoshi vanished. No goodbye party, no dramatic farewell post, just silence. Some say they disappeared to protect their privacy, knowing that being the creator of Bitcoin could paint a giant target on their back. Others believe governments might have been watching, and Satoshi did want to risk a knock on the door at 3 a.m. There's also the theory that they simply got bored. Maybe after building the foundations of a $1 trillion system, they just closed the laptop, stretched, and said, "Touch grass." Think about it. How often do you meet a genius who invents something world-changing, then just walks away? That mystery fuels endless speculation. But one thing is clear. By leaving, Satoshi made Bitcoin bigger than themselves. A story no one could own. Only continue. Here's one of the juiciest parts of the mystery. Satoshi's Bitcoin wallet. Tucked away in the blockchain like buried treasure, it holds over 1 million Bitcoins. At today's prices, that's tens of billions of dollars. Enough to buy islands, rocket ships, or probably every banana on Earth. And yet, those coins have never moved. Not a single Satoshi has been spent. They just sit there untouched, gathering digital dust while the rest of the world fights over fractions of Bitcoin. It's like finding a treasure chest at the bottom of the ocean, sealed shut, waiting for someone with the right key. Some say Satoshi is gone forever, and those coins will never be touched. Others whisper, maybe one day the wallet will come alive. If that happens, the markets would go absolutely bananas, literally. Whoever Satoshi was, their little experiment turned into a global movement. Bitcoin started as code shared in obscure forums, but now it touches every country, every economy, and every late-night argument at family dinners. From Wall Street traders in suits to college kids mining coins in dorm rooms to that one guy who won't shut up about Bitcoin at parties, it's everywhere. Countries debate it in parliament, banks try to fight it, and entire industries are being rebuilt because of it. What began as a 9-page paper has grown into conferences, billion-dollar businesses, and endless headlines. And let's be real, even if you don't own any Bitcoin, you've definitely heard about it. Probably from that cousin who thinks he's the next Satoshi. Love it or hate it, Bitcoin has already reshaped the conversation about money forever. Of course, the internet couldn't resist playing the ultimate guessing game. Who's really behind the mask? Some fingers pointed at Elon Musk. After all, the guy builds rockets, cars, and talks about colonizing Mars. Bitcoin wouldn't be a stretch, right? Elon laughed it off and said no. Others whispered about the CIA. Because if there's a global mystery, conspiracy theories will always drag in 3 letters. The CIA's official response? No comment. Which, let's be honest, sounds suspiciously like a comment. Then you've got the wild cards. Maybe it was Steve Jobs, secretly coding between iPhone launches. Maybe it was a random college student who got really good at math. The fun part is, nobody knows. And until someone proves otherwise, every theory, no matter how ridiculous, gets its moment in the spotlight. So why does it even matter who Satoshi is? Simple. If they showed up tomorrow and said, hey, it's me, the financial world would lose its mind. Bitcoin's price could skyrocket because people would think the creator has returned, or it could crash instantly if that same creator decided to sell even a fraction of their massive wallet. Imagine someone holding a lever that could tilt the entire market in seconds. That's the kind of power Satoshi's identity carries. Beyond the price swings, there's the symbolism. If the mystery were solved, Bitcoin might lose part of its magic. Right now, it's bigger than one person. It's an idea. But if Satoshi returned, suddenly it's about a person again. And people are messy. That's why the mystery matters. It keeps Bitcoin untouchable, unpredictable, and just a little bit legendary. When Satoshi left, they didn't just walk away from a project. They handed the keys of an entirely new world to everyone else. No copyright, no company logo, no billionaire boss to sign off on decisions. Just open code, free for anyone to use, copy, or improve. That's either the ultimate act of trust or the greatest mic drop in financial history. Because think about it, most inventors spend their lives fighting for credit, chasing patents, and protecting their ideas. Satoshi did the opposite. They gave Bitcoin to the world and said, it's yours now. That decision turned Bitcoin from just another tech experiment into a global phenomenon. It became bigger than one person, bigger than one government, bigger than one generation. And in that sense, Satoshi's true legacy isn't just Bitcoin. It's proving that an idea can live without its creator. At the end of the day, Bitcoin was never about one mysterious figure. It's about an idea. Satoshi may have written the code, but the philosophy is what stuck. Money for the people, controlled by no one, and available to everyone. No central banks pressing buttons, no governments deciding who gets access. Just a system that runs as long as people keep it alive. That's why Bitcoin feels different from everything that came before it. It isn't just digital cash. It's a kind of protest wrapped in code, a reminder that trust doesn't always need middlemen in suits. Of course, not everyone agrees. Some critics still laugh it off, others call it dangerous. But whether you love it or hate it, you can't ignore it, because Bitcoin is more than numbers on a screen. It's a philosophy that rewired how we think about money. And that, my friends, is the unsolved mystery of Satoshi Nakamoto, A digital ghost who gave the world a $1 trillion idea, then vanished without taking a bow. No selfies, no book deals, no Netflix documentary, just silence. And yet that silence turned into legend. But our story doesn't end here, because the next chapter in Bitcoin's history might just be the funniest, most painful, and definitely the hungriest of them all. It's the story of the day someone traded 10,000 Bitcoins, yes, 10,000, for 2 pizzas. At the time, it felt like a normal snack run. Today, it's known as the most expensive meal in human history. So, if you want a slice of that story, hit like, subscribe to Blockchain Town, and stick around. Trust me, you'll never look at pizza the same way again.